I'm Jemma and I'm a maths teacher. I have two medical conditions. I have spinal muscular atrophy, which is a muscle wasting condition which I was born with. That's why I use the wheelchair. And then I also have type 1 diabetes, which I was diagnosed with when I was 31, which was just over 10 years ago now. So as a type 1 diabetic, we need insulin administered externally 24 hours a day, or we need long-acting insulin and short-acting insulin if given by injections. It's a little bit complicated. So you can either be on MDIs, multiple daily injections, which as the word implies is multiple. On average, I was giving between 6 and 8 injections a day. And then about a year after my diagnosis, I was offered to go on an insulin pump. Everyone has their own preferences. Some people do better on multiple daily injections. Some people prefer to go on a pump. Going on the pump has changed my life for the better. It is so much easier in my opinion. This is my insulin pump and it's connected to me 24 hours a day. Apart from the only time I take it off is when I have a shower. But I sleep with it. I do everything with it other than that. So this is receiving readings from my CGM, my continuous glucose monitor, which is attached to my stomach. This is accepting readings from that, and that is my blood sugar. This shield means that I'm in smart guard mode. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to keep me as close to 5.5 millimoles as possible. So at the moment I'm 8.9, slightly high, but nothing to worry about. And this is going to try and keep me at 5.5. So in a little while, it might give me some more insulin to try and bring me down. If my blood sugars were dropping, if they were going too low, it will stop giving insulin altogether to try and allow my blood sugars to increase. So this is giving me insulin all the time. Every 5 minutes, it's giving me a tiny bit of insulin through this tube into my stomach. And then when I eat, I input into the pump how much carbohydrates I'm having, and through some trial and error over a couple of nights a few years back, I have got my settings input into here. Everyone is different, every type 1 diabetic is different, but this has got my settings, so it's got ratios of how much insulin I need for how much carbohydrates I have, how much insulin I need depending on how high I am. There's lots of factors, but this will try its best to keep me as close to 5.5 as possible. And it's changed my life for the better. But type 1 diabetes is a time-consuming job. It is a 24-hour job. It doesn't stop because you go to sleep. I do have highs and lows, not every day, but I could have highs and lows consecutive days. It can be any time really. I might have one a week, I might have 3 in one day. And when I go high or go low, I do need to deal with that. If I go low, I need to have sugar. And if I go high, I need to give more insulin. And either one of those can make you feel very unwell. There are different symptoms, but they can make you feel very unwell. I'm a maths teacher, so I deal with this through my daily job. I try and deal with it as best as I can, obviously, while I'm not teaching. Sometimes it can't be helped and I have to give insulin or eat sweets while I'm teaching, but I try and deal with it as discreetly as I can. And this needs refilling about every 3 to 4 days. And my CGM, which is on my stomach, needs changing about once a week. And this changed my life for the better. So much easier pressing a few buttons each time you need to give insulin rather than having multiple injections. It does vibrate at me, it does alarm at me if I drop too low or go too high, or if it's running out of insulin, etc., etc. But yeah, that's me.